Hey, old man, smile for the camera. The slap cracked through the air before anyone could blink. A shaky phone lens caught the moment. An elderly man stumbled backward, one hand clutching his cheek, the other gripping a gas can that spilled across the asphalt like liquid fire. The young men filming burst into laughter, their designer sneakers glinting under the Nevada sun. "Come on, say something. Don't be shy," one of them jeered. But the old man said nothing. He just straightened himself slowly, eyes calm, but full of something heavier than anger, disappointment. His name was Henry Cole, a 78-year-old veteran who'd fought in wars most of these kids only knew from video games. He had stopped for gas and a quiet minute on his way home. Instead, he found himself in the center of a cruel joke. The boys called themselves the Vibe Squad. Trent, Logan, Carter, and Eli, self-styled TikTok pranksters chasing the next viral hit. They didn't notice the spill at Henry's boots or the way onlookers had gone silent, phones lowering as discomfort replaced amusement. "What's wrong, Grandpa? Forgot your lines." Logan sneered, shoving the cane aside with his foot. Henry steadied himself on the truck's fender. "You boys ever been taught respect?" His voice was quiet, measured, too calm. That question hung in the air just long enough for the first sound of engines to roll in from the highway. Low, deep, and growing louder. The ground seemed to hum beneath their feet. Heads turned. 40 motorcycles appeared on the horizon, chrome flashing in the sunlight like a line of silver bayonets. The Iron Saints, a biker brotherhood known across Nevada for their fierce loyalty to veterans, were returning from a memorial ride when they saw the commotion at the gas station. The laughter died instantly. The riders surrounded the lot in a half-circle of thunder and dust. From the lead bike stepped a broad-shouldered man with a gray beard and mirrored glasses, Ryder Lawson, the club's founder and a decorated Marine. He scanned the scene, the spilled gasoline, the trembling old man, the kids clutching their phones. "What's going on here?" His voice was low but dangerous. Trent forced a nervous laugh. "Hey man, it's just content. We're not hurting anyone. It's all for views." Ryder's jaw tightened. He walked past them and picked up Henry's cane, handing it back with quiet respect. "Sir," he said softly. Henry nodded, his hand shaking slightly as he took it. Then Ryder turned back to the boys. "You think disrespect is content?" His tone sharpened. "That man fought for your right to stand here, to talk, to breathe free air, and you treat him like a joke?" The air was thick with tension. Cameras had stopped rolling. No one dared move. Logan mumbled, "We didn't mean anything by it." "Then mean something now," Ryder said, stepping closer. "Apologize." The boys exchanged uneasy glances, realizing there would be no easy exit. Behind Ryder, dozens of bikers stood silent, arms crossed, leather vests gleaming with patches that read honor, brotherhood, freedom. Carter swallowed hard. "We're sorry, sir," he said finally. The others echoed him, voices small and shaky. Henry studied their faces, then nodded once. "Do better," he murmured. "Because life won't always give you a second chance." The bikers waited until the boys packed their gear and left, their expensive SUV kicking up dust as it sped down the highway. Only then did Ryder turn to Henry. "Need a hand getting home?" Henry smiled faintly. "I'll manage. But thank you for showing up." Ryder clapped him on the shoulder. "Men like you made sure we could." As the Iron Saints roared back onto the road, the onlookers remained frozen, some wiping their eyes, others recording silently, this time not for clout, but to remember. Because for one blistering Nevada afternoon, an old soldier reminded a generation what respect truly looks like. "Relax, man, it's just a prank," Trent said, still gripping his phone. Before he could blink, Ryder Lawson stepped forward, yanked the device from his hand, and hurled it against the pavement. The screen shattered with a sharp crack that cut through the heavy silence. "There's your content," Ryder said, his voice low and dangerous. Engines idled in the background as the Iron Saints dismounted one by one, boots thudding in rhythm. The four young men, Trent, Logan, Carter, and Eli, started backing up, realizing too late that the half-circle around them had closed tight. "It was just for laughs," Carter stammered, eyes darting toward the crowd. "We weren't trying to." "Nobody's laughing," said a burly biker with a scar down his cheek. Colton, a former Marine who didn't need to raise his voice to command attention. "You laid hands on a veteran. That's a line you don't cross." Ryder's gaze softened only when he turned to the trembling, old man beside him. Henry Cole stood with his cane in one hand, the other rubbing the side of his face. "You all right, sir?" Ryder asked. Henry nodded faintly. "I'm fine, son. Don't hurt them. They're just lost." Lost. Maybe that's what they were. But to the Iron Saints, it wasn't just about youth or ignorance. It was about the decay of respect, something sacred to men who'd buried brothers under flags. The bikers closed in, not with fists, but with purpose. "You made a mess," Ryder said evenly, pointing to the spilled gasoline and scattered debris. "You're going to clean it up." No one argued. The boys scrambled for paper towels, mops, anything they could find. Their designer sneakers slid on the slick pavement as they wiped the ground, sweat dripping down their necks. Cameras stayed off. For once, there were no followers to impress, only eyes watching to see if they'd learn. When the last drop was gone, Ryder folded his arms. "Now," he said quietly, "you apologize." Trent hesitated, his throat tight. "Mr. Cole, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to humiliate you." His voice cracked halfway through. The others followed, voices trembling, eyes wet. Then, on Ryder's command, they knelt. Not out of fear, but out of shame. Henry looked down at them, sadness in his weathered face. "Strength isn't about who you can hurt," he said softly. "It's about who you choose to protect." For a moment, no one moved. Then someone from the crowd began to clap, slowly, then louder, until the station echoed with applause. It wasn't mockery. It was reverence. Ryder helped Henry back to his truck, gently placing the cane in his hand. "Let me top that off for you," he said, refueling the tank himself. When Henry reached for his wallet, Ryder shook his head. "Not today, sir. You've already paid more than enough." Henry gave a tired smile. "Guess I got lucky," he murmured. "Kindness still lives out here." He tipped his cap and drove off into the setting sun, leaving behind four shaken young men and a parking lot that felt strangely lighter. That night, the story didn't die. Someone in the crowd had posted a clip, not the cruelty, but the redemption. The video showed the slap, the roar of bikes, the boys kneeling before a veteran. By morning, it had spread across the internet like wildfire. Comments poured in, veterans thanking Ryder, parents praising the Iron Saints, young viewers admitting they'd never felt more humbled. "This," one user wrote, "is what America should look like." Weeks later, the Vibe Squad returned online with a final post, not a prank, but a confession. They apologized publicly, then announced the end of their channel. Instead, they were starting a new one, a project to raise money for homeless veterans. Behind them, a framed photo of Henry Cole hung on the wall. Ryder and the Iron Saints rode to their first event to help them launch it. No threats, no judgment, just hands extended, ready to build something good from something broken. A year later, on Memorial Day, Henry stood once more at that same gas station, now adorned with flags and banners reading honor and hope. The Iron Saints and the reformed Vibe Squad handed out meals to travelers and veterans passing through. Children saluted him, bikers clapped his shoulder, laughter replaced the echo of cruelty. And for one perfect afternoon, beneath the wide Nevada sky, a single act of hate had become a legacy of respect and redemption, proof that even the worst mistakes can lead people back to what matters most.